Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's October 16th, 2022. I'm out in the first food forest. Over here is the honey hut. It's a cool day, so the temperatures are in the 40s degrees Fahrenheit today. I think it's about 43, 44 degrees right now. This afternoon, one of my goals is to see if I can at least dig up the blueberry plants. And if you've been watching for a while, this is our row of high bush blueberry plants. These ones down at this end are Patriot ones. They've done the best. Of course, the soil is the best down here, and it gets more moisture down here as well. So that's one of the reasons besides them being Patriots, but they really do produce a lot. We have blue gold, blue crop up there as well. But one of the things I'm going to do today is try and come down here. I already came down here earlier and used a weed whacker in between each one of these plants. We'll be using the weed mats. So in previous videos I've talked about, we're going to be having the western garden plot, instead of being a combination of perennials and annuals, we're going and not propagating as many of the hardwood cuttings as we've done before. What we're going to do is make 2 additional rows, take these blueberry plants that are right here and move them up into that area. So they'll be getting irrigation. These plants haven't been getting irrigation for 2 years. Before that, they got intermittent irrigation with a soaker hose. They had weed mats down, which we pulled off, I think, early this spring. And we shouldn't have done that. We should have waited until now to do it, to tell you the truth, because that really held back a lot of the weeds. Weeds, when you're doing transplant with blueberry bushes, that's more of a challenge than many other plant species. One of the reasons is because their root system. They have a very shallow, very tiny mesh network of roots near the surface of the ground. There are a few roots that are several millimeters in diameter that go down, and I guess they're considered anchoring roots. But it's almost like spaghetti or steel wool, very, very fine mesh that goes out around the circumference near the surface of the soil. Those are very important roots. And by pulling the weed mats back and letting all the weeds grow up in here without getting watering or any nutrition whatsoever, everything's sort of been neglected the last 2 years here. The weeds have taken over in amongst the roots, which means we've got to try and get as many of those weeds out of the root mass. So when I dig them out today, I'm going to put them in the back of Pepe, bring them over into the work area, and then tomorrow Thea and I will probably try and tease out as many of those roots as possible and get these set up in the western garden plot. So that's the plan anyways, or at least that's my plan at this point. I just let Thea know that I was thinking about doing this part of it tomorrow. But the best time to transplant blueberry plants, or any perennial plant, trees, bushes, berry bushes and all, is in the fall or in the early spring. You want to do it when they're dormant, where there isn't as much activity going up to the leaf structures of the plants. So this is probably a pretty good time. We're going to be stressing these out. Blueberry plants take several years to reach maturity, where they'll get maximal production, probably 6, 7, 8 years to reach maximal productivity. And these are probably 4 or 5 years old, but they've been stunted because they haven't been taken care of. I really started getting depressed when the deer kept knocking down the high hoop tunnels that we had down here with the bird netting and all, and getting tangled in there. So that's why I got the hoops out of here, and we pulled the weed mats out, because everything was just getting disrupted. So we'll at least be able to keep the white-tailed deer out of the western garden plot. So that's one big thing. So we don't need the same type of protection that we needed up here. And we'll have drip irrigation, and we'll have weed mats down there. I've already added peat moss to the soil and been watering the peat moss to try and get it moistened. It'll still need more moistening. And our pH is below 6 naturally around here, but we've made our own compost, so that raises it some. So we're going to be acidifying that soil a bit more as well. So that's the plan at this point. We'll see how things work out. There's, I think, 28 of the blueberry plants left here. Some are in really rough shape, like this one right here. But some aren't too bad, just loaded with weeds as well. So if we have a 90% success rate after doing this process, and we give them a couple extra years to reach full maturity, maximal productivity, that'll be fine. And these will be placed close together, about every 2 or 2.5 feet apart, which is the closest you ever want to do it. It's going to be more like a hedgerow system as opposed to the 5 or 6 foot apart that I've done in other situations. So enough talking about it. I'm going to get to work now. Okay, it's after getting the blueberry plants out of the ground from the first food forest. So I'll show you the blueberry plants here. I just used the garden hose to wet down the root balls of them. Pretty happy with how well they came out. A couple of them got beat up a little bit, but by and large, pretty happy. These are the Patriots down at this end in the sun. I decided, instead of putting them in the work area, to put them out here because this is the northwest side of the building. So tomorrow morning, the sun's going to come up on the east, so these will be in the shade. This will give us a chance to start cleaning up the root balls here some, and I'll have to get the beds prepped over here for them to get established. So pretty happy with getting those out. Elon, the excavator, really helped out an awful lot. Ran into a lot of ants under one of the blueberry plants, a red ant nest, and what else? And ran into a big boulder. So we'll go out and take a quick look at the area and all as I finish up my day and get ready for dinner time here. So we're by pond 7 right now. This is the boulder that was underneath 2 of the blueberry plants. Here are the ones that we had before. So it's a bit of a hassle getting this bugger out of there, but we did get him out and Elon carried it back here. We'll end up deciding where we're going to put these as sitting rocks, possibly down by the beaver pond. I'm not certain yet, or after I finish digging out pond 7 here. After taking this boulder out, I at least got one scoop of soil from here to help fill in the void over there. We'll go take a look at the area now where we got the blueberry plants out of. Helps if I put it in gear. Okay, so this is the row where the blueberry plants were planted in here. About 1/3 of the way up is where the boulder was. Bees are active out here right now with one hive at least. The other hive, the sun has passed. So this hive over here, it's already passed, but the bees are still enjoying a little bit of sunshine. So about 15-20 more minutes and this will calm right down. So we'll have more work to do out here in this first food forest over the next couple of years. Lots of weeds and quack grass down in here, and they're in the root balls. So we'll get as much of that out tomorrow as possible. This is where the boulder was, right in here. So I took a scoop of the sandy gravel, put it down in the base, put a couple of rocks down in there, and then used some of the surface soil that was here to top it off. Pretty happy with how well the soil has turned out here. This was all gravel when we, in 2012, when we first started most of this food forest. I started some of it in 2010. 2012 is 10 years ago is when we made more progress down here. Put lots of wood chips. On the higher ground, I didn't put as many wood chips, and you could see the soil isn't as nice a quality, and those blueberry plants weren't as good. They weren't as well developed as the ones down in here, where there were a lot more wood chips, and we did lots of chopping and dropping in this area. So these guys did really well down here at this end, where we had more organic material, less organic material up there at that end. And so that's going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully we'll post a video after we process through the blueberry plants and get them planted over there in the garden. Some of these root balls are pretty heavy. My back's pretty sore, so I'm going to go in to feed Hank and start to unwind for the evening and all. I hope you folks stay safe. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. Please leave them below. And by all means, folks, stay safe, take good care of yourselves, and think about berry plants or fruit trees or nut trees. If there's a way that you can do it, even if you've got, like, if you're in a warm climate, you want to grow your own citrus in a pot, fig trees in a pot, blueberry bushes in a pot, whatever it may be. Just trying to inspire people to grow more of their own food. You plant it once with a perennial, and it gives back year after year. Take care now and have a great night. Bye-bye.